Alright, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Warcraft 3 replay cast, and today it is a 1 vs 1 on Echo Isles between our blue orc player, no Profi, and our green undead player, HLA, and we're going to go ahead and speed this on up to the 8x mark until the heroes come out at about 2 minutes, and that's when all the good stuff happens, and we have the Death Knight for our undead player, and we're going to go back down to 1x. We have our Blade Master for the Orc player going to the first Ogre Warrior camp here, and the Undead is on its way. We have a Scout Peon here that knows that the Death Knight is now coming. And we'll see what item drops for our Blade Master, see if it's something useful. A Gloves of Haste is something very useful for the Blade Master. A little bit of a ghoul rush going towards the Voodoo Lounge there, trying to get that Voodoo Lounge down, but unable to do that. Just gives the Blade Master some free experience, and now trying to get that Voodoo Lounge at all costs, and he cancels it. So that will slow our Orc player down just a little bit here. And now starting up a new Voodoo Lounge there, decides not to go after those Troll Trappers, as he really just wanted the good stuff. And now going to take out these Skeleton Warriors here and give him a little bit even more experience there. Now the Death Knight player moving back and forth here, and doesn't really know quite what to do here. Is unable to really steal any creeps, which the Death Knight would normally be very good at. Half health on that Death Knight. Now the Blade Master moving on down, kills that sheep. Probably not the best idea, as now the Death Knight can use that against his opponent with a Rod of Necromancy, although the Death Knight could have easily killed it himself. And now Orc Grunt going on after that Death Knight, but unable to do too much there. Gets a couple hits in, a little bit of health lost on that Death Knight. And now going after that Voodoo Lounge again, a sick, twisted obsession at destroying that Voodoo Lounge. And now the Skeletons giving the Orc a little hard time here going into the base, but shouldn't really worry about it too much, as they do such little damage. It's not a big problem for the Orc player. Now the Undead player going towards some creeps here at the Goblin Merchant.
Our forces are under attack.
And let's see what item he's going to grab. He got a Boots of Speed. Very good item for the Death Knight. Get away from that Blade Master. Ogre Mauler will drop an item. We'll see what that is for our Death Knight here. And the Blade Master here going after the Ogre Magi at the same time. Ogre Mauler almost down here. Uses a Dust of Appearance to see if that Blade Master was there, to see if it's going to steal his kill or not. Tome of Strength and a Sentry Ward for our Death Knight. Sentry Ward's not too bad. And we'll see what our Blade Master got from that. He got a Claws of Attack +6 from that Ogre Magi, so pretty good. And now going to go after the Ogre Warrior over here and hope he gets another Gloves of Haste. And now Death Knight going to catch these Grunts here in transit, and it looks like one of them may get surrounded, but nope, not just yet. And now trying to take down that Ogre Warrior solo. Meanwhile, these Grunts in a little bit of trouble here, trying to surround them, but not doing too good yet. Microing them left and right pretty well. And now this Grunt, 93 health, may lose that very soon. Circle of Nobility for the Blade Master, not too bad there. And Death Knight still trying to chase down these Grunts here. Got one of those Grunts. And almost to another one here. Trying to get the surround, but just unable to do so.
Upgrade complete. Our forces
Blade Master
are
now
under
moving
attack.
back to his base. Using those healing salves on his Blade Master there. And will be almost healed by the time he gets back to defend his base from the Death Knight. And gets a critical strike, a 92 damage critical strike on that Death Knight. A very good first hit. And now going to try and get in front here with the Windwalk, and gets another hit, 92 health remaining on the Death Knight, but regenerating very, very quickly, 17 health left. Not enough mana to do it again. 25 health left on that Death Knight. We'll have to spend a little bit of time regenerating, going across the map now. Now the Blade Master heading on back to base, going to use that shop, probably get some potions. And there he goes. And now moving on down towards the bottom of the map here. We'll see if he decides to creep this Ogre Magi camp and see if he decides to expand early or not. Blade Master now moving across the map here. The Sentry Ward is in place here from our Death Knight, and we'll be able to see that Blade Master moving across the map. Scroll Trapper goes down, and the Ogre Magi here soon to follow. See what item can drop, see if the Blade Master can actually steal the kill or not. And unable to get there in time. A Ring of Protection of +2, so the Ring of Selling of +2. Usually a better item to just simply sell rather than to use. Blade Master looking to get some ghoul kills here. Got one ghoul kill, level 2 Blade Master, almost level 3. And the Death Knight slightly higher in experience at almost level 3. 474 out of 500. The Blade Master 422 out of 500. Now going after the Murloc Nightcrawler camp here.
Summoning is complete.
And now a Shadow Hunter is out for the second hero for our Orc player. And now going after the simple Knoll Brute camp here. And Death Knight going to take it down shortly here. And certainly he was hoping for a scroll or a tome of experience. That would have been a much better bet. Now the Murloc Nightcrawler about to fall. Looks like a second clause of attack, +6 for our Blade Master there. Manual health drops. Takes that with the Shadow Hunter.
The ancient evil survive.
Now moving across the map in Windwalk, picks up that scroll of that tome of agility. I keep wanting to call it scroll, but it's the same thing, I suppose. And it takes that tome of agility. Unfortunately, the Death Knight did not pick that up, even though I don't know why some players don't actually pick up tomes. You might as well. I mean, it's just a simple click, and it also prevents your opponent from picking them up as well. And certainly they don't help you out all that much, but it's just a simple click, all it takes. Death Knight moving about the map. Invisible spots the Shadow Hunter moving across the map towards the gold mine here. Going to spot him while trying to kill this Ogre Magi, and if he stays invisible long enough, he will be able to death coil that Ogre Magi just before it dies and steal that kill. Lich for the second hero of our undead, now moving across the map, has some statues out now.
Research complete.
And Blade Master moving across the top of the map. Looks like he's heading towards the undead base there. May try and get some acolytes. Did steal that kill there from the Orc player, but not the item. So Circle of Nobility for our Shadow Hunter. And now a Naga Sea Witch for the third hero of our undead player. And the Blade Master was in the undead base for a moment. Decided not to harass. And there really isn't a way in there at the moment. Now the undead player assaulting the Orc base here. Will take out that Voodoo Lounge in a very quick hurry. And the Shadow Hunter a little bit busy creeping here to defend his base. Tome of Strength drops. And now Shadow Hunter kind of gets surrounded here and needs to get out of there as soon as possible. Hexes the Death Knight. Now the Blade Master is here to help defend that Scroll of Speed, moving his units very quickly across the map now. And Kodo Beast in a little bit of trouble here, focusing that Kodo Beast down. And we'll lose that. The Shadow Hunter hexes the Death Knight again. May lose this Death Knight here very shortly. And if he can just Windwalk again, but he simply doesn't have the mana, loses that Death Knight now. Level 3 Blade Master, level 2 Shadow Hunter versus a level 1 Naga Sea Witch and a level 1 Lich. So in trouble here. And the Blade Master hurting pretty bad. Gonna have to get out of the battle for just a moment while that healing salve kicks in. And now going after the Naga Sea Witch here. Naga Sea Witch down to a small portion of health. Loses that Naga Sea Witch as well. Now the Lich going after the Blade Master there, but was unable to get to it. Has enough mana for an additional Frost Nova. But instead using his mana for Frost Armor instead. Actually got that Frost Armor skill instead of the Frost Nova. I didn't notice that he was still only level 1. Which is a very good skill indeed, just to put it on your units and slow everything down like that. Some free experience skeletons now for the Orc player. And now a level 3 Shadow Hunter. It was just enough experience to get that Shadow Hunter to level 3, so that was definitely not a good idea to feed him a little bit of skeletons, even though it wouldn't have taken much to just simply creep to that level 3 anyway.
The pact is sealed.
New Kodo Beast is out on the field for the Orc player. And Blade Master now moving across the map, scouting out a little bit, and should go after this Murloc Nightcrawler camp. Be pretty easy to grab some free experience for that Shadow Hunter, along with the Blade Master. Now Blade Master has a potion of lesser invulnerability, now moving back towards his base. Very aggressive play indeed. And the Death Knight is now out on the map along with the Naga Sea Witch, so all three heroes have been revived for our undead player, and we'll be moving out shortly here. Naga Sea Witch picks up a Dust of Appearance, so she will be the one dusting that Blade Master when he comes along. That Murloc Nightcrawler camp being farmed out. Looked like a manual of health there, I believe. And now 3 Circlet of Nobilities on that Shadow Hunter, so pretty crazy there. +6 to all stats. Blade Master now going after the Renegade Wizard camp. And we'll see what kind of item drops for our Blade Master here. See if he can get something pretty good that will help him out for the rest of the game. Blade Master about half health, just over half health there. Needs to use a healing salve on the way back to defend his base. Boots of Speed have dropped. Gonna put those on the Shadow Hunter there. And now with Boots of Speed, both of his heroes have Boots of Speed, and doesn't have to buy a second pair there. Now all 3 heroes and the ghouls trying to take down the best hero here. And a Tauren Chieftain is out for the 3rd hero for the Orc. It's a pretty good War Stomp there. Hits the majority of those targets. And now the potion of lesser invulnerability out on the Blade Master. I think that was a little preemptive, that use. I think that was a little unnecessary to use it that early. And Tauren Chieftain now under attack, uses another pretty good War Stomp. Hits all those units, but unfortunately there's not a lot of damage on these units to really capitalize with that Tauren Chieftain. Shadow Hunter still at full health here. Lots of ghouls, very low health. Naga Sea Witch falls. And the Blade Master here in a little bit of trouble, very low in health. No more Voodoo Lounge, so cannot use another healing salve. And with very low health ghouls, he doesn't have too much left in this undead army. And now the Blade Master here has been spotted and may actually fall here. We'll lose that Blade Master. And now the undead player going back on home to base. And now reviving the Tauren Chieftain, which will revive very quickly as it is only a level 1, and the Blade Master to follow. May actually use the Tavern to get that Blade Master back. We'll have to see what he chooses to do. Nope, he's going to use this Altar of Storms to get the Blade Master back, and he has the Voodoo Lounge coming back up once again, which he desperately needed during that fight so that he could heal his Blade Master up with those healing salves. And now the undead player going to start creeping again, going to creep out his own Renegade Wizard camp. And that Naga Sea Witch still dead here and just about to revive. And we'll see what kind of item drops for our undead player. And 3/4 health on that Death Knight there. Just now got level 4, level 2 Lich, and a level 1 Naga Sea Witch still hasn't leveled up at all. And that Renegade Wizard about to fall is going to give all of the experience there to the Lich so he can get level 3. And a Talisman of Evasion for our Lich. Not the greatest item. Well, I suppose against a Blade Master that isn't too bad. But overall, the Talisman of Evasion is an okay item, I suppose. Just 15% evasion isn't always the greatest thing to help out. Sometimes some items are better than others. Death Knight and the Naga Sea Witch now moving across the map here at level 3 on that Lich. Pretty good idea moving both of his heroes back so that Lich could get level 3. So a level 1 Tauren Chieftain, level 3 Shadow Hunter, and the Blade Master still trying to revive here, about 3/4 of the way revived. And so just about equal hero levels here. I do believe 3, 1, and I think both of the Death Knight and the Blade Master there are level 4, so fairly equal heroes. And almost on that Blade Master gets a Mud Golem to come in and cast slow. And undead player decides to back out a little bit. Possibly going to do some more creeping here. May actually be going towards this Nightcrawler camp, or could be going towards the Gargantuan Sea Turtle as well. So we'll have to see what he chooses to do, going after the Nightcrawler camp now.
Our forces
And it looks like the
attack.
Blade Master is now out and about. And Nightcrawler falls a Tome of Experience. Very nice for our Death Knight player. An additional 100 experience for him. Blade Master is still wandering around here. And moves over to the right side here and sees the entire undead army. Dust of Appearance could cure that, and he would know that what's going on, but he may not know that the Death Knight or Blade Master is there, and tries to use the Dust of Appearance, but misses as the Blade Master is already gone. And we'll see what's going to happen here. Looks like he may be going towards that Gargantuan Sea Turtle camp. Indeed, now moving over to the right side here. Got that Blood Golem behind for slow, as the slow obviously turned off as it has a full mana there.
Our forces are under attack.
Gargantuan Sea Turtle is pulled back now, but it looks like the Orc player knows what's going on here, so he's coming down to try and squeeze the undead in between all of those creeps. But the undead isn't having that. It's backing off now. Going to start the battle here. It looks like the undead's army is completely inferior to the Orc at the moment, as the Orc has Berserkers and Grunts, also has Raiders in the group, and a couple Kodo Beasts. They're pretty much just exclusively Ghouls. Tauren Chieftain in a little bit of trouble now, and Blade Master is surrounded, does have enough mana to Windwalk on out of there. Death Knight has fallen as well, and the Tauren Chieftain trying to get in to do a War Stomp here, and gets a decent War Stomp off, but so far the War Stomps really haven't proven to be totally useful for him, as normally you want to use a War Stomp at a very, very clutch time, and it takes out that Lich now, and now the Nagasiwitch going to be falling soon. And GG's out, our winner, the Orc player. Undead just lost all those heroes in that event there. Just those ghouls just simply weren't enough to really battle it out with Grunts, Raiders, and the Kodo Beasts. So in the end, the ghouls just simply didn't make it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this replay, and I'll see you guys next time.